Good morning, good morning. Happy Monday morning, the 6th of October. My name is Betty Scotia. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and the team leader for the Power of Positive Inking. I'm here on Monday mornings, knock wood, fingers crossed, at 10 o'clock with something to create. And today I'm creating something that means hopefully just a little bit more. So let me make sure I'm where I think I am. Let's start with that. So just bear with me for 1 second. Yeah. And then you can let me know if you are watching live. I'd love to hear you are watching live. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them. If you're watching this as a replay, please leave comments. Let me know you saw this replay, what you think. And I'll be in touch if you have any questions. But let's get started here. Excuse me while I adjust. I got a lot to adjust here. Whoop, flip you down, flip you over. There we go. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about. Something that means just a little bit more. As we all know, October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And I sadly don't think there's anybody who's not been touched themselves or by a family member with breast cancer. And so anytime there's a good cause for this, I think we should pause and think that maybe we should help out. So this year, Stampin' Up! Has not partnered with, but in their goal of making a difference, Stampin' Up! Making a difference, they donate every year proceeds or part of the proceeds from a stamp set to a cause. So this year, if you've received this catalog, the mini catalog, if you don't have it and you'd like it, certainly let me know and I'll make sure you get it. But on page 4 of this catalog, you'll see what I'm talking about, which is the Love and Courage stamp set. So here is the stamp set, and $3 from each of the purchase of the stamp set. The stamp set is only $25, and $3 will go to breast cancer organizations. So my goal this month is to show you a bunch of different ways to use a stamp set and maybe encourage you to consider getting it. Yeah, so there's a lot of ideas out there that are very, very breast cancer inspired, I guess you want to say. So a lot done with pink, that kind of thing, a little bit more traditional ways of using the ribbon in the set, which obviously can be used for any kind of cancer organization has their own color ribbon to represent them, so that certainly could be used for that. But I'm going to show you throughout the month some different ways that I came up with to use this, and see if I can convince you that it's worth purchasing, bearing in mind too that some of the proceeds of this are going to breast cancer research. Hey Renee, let me show you what I'm going to do with the stamp set today, and maybe that will push you to get it. So here's the stamp set itself. It's got different greetings. It's okay not to be okay. Friends don't let friends fight cancer alone. Thank you for supporting me throughout my battle. Love, hope. And then this image here is one image together, which says support, strength, heart, faith, resolve, fight, hope, courage, survivor, believe. And then the other side of it is a sunflower. And then we've got the heart and the previously mentioned ribbon. So I had a conversation with somebody the other day, and we were discussing people who have had breast cancer or many kinds of cancers. Sometimes they are all in on this kind of thing, and sometimes this is not a good reminder for them, I guess. And everybody deals with it differently. So I just think we need to be respectful of how people are dealing with their battle, and yeah, just be respectful of that. That said, I think anybody that works in the healthcare industry would absolutely love you giving them support as they support those that are going through the battle themselves. But let me show you something today that really actually doesn't concentrate on the cancer aspect of it all, but more the flower aspect of it. So here I'm going to show you the finished product, and then I'm going to go through it. So here is the finished product, and I'm going to show you how I created this. So I'm starting with a small piece of Whisper White paper. Whoa, basic white. That's a blast from the past. Used to be called Whisper White if you weren't around then. Anyway, I'm using this stamp here. So it's a big stamp, big-ish stamp, and it's got words on the one side and sunflower on the other. And I just really want to concentrate on the sunflower part of it. And I want to show you how I got the look from this sunflower image. So I am using Daffodil Delight and Pecan Pie. Those are the two inks that I'm going to use for this. And I am going to prep by taking my Pecan Pie ink pad and taking just a block. This is just a clear block. Woo. And it's kind of hard to see, but I have just inked up my block with the Pecan Pie. I'm going to move the Pecan Pie out of the way and just leave my block there. And I'm going to start with I might zoom in a little bit. This might be easier to see if I zoom in. Okay, so I'm going to take my Daffodil Delight, and I'm inking up mostly just the sunflower part of it. I don't care if the words get in there because I'm not going to stamp them, but that's where I'm at there. Okay, now I'm going to take a dauber, and I'm daubing onto this, bring it into the camera, Betty. There we go. I'm daubing into this inked up block to pick up some of the Pecan Pie. And then I'm going to daub it onto the center of the sunflower. And I'll go in and pick up a little more. The reason that I'm doing it on the reason that I'm doing this on the block rather than into the ink pad is because I don't want to transfer any of the yellow ink into the block. Renee's asking me, do I need the die cut machine to make these cards? Well, sort of and not really. The reason I say that is because I have used the embossing folder that I'll show you in order to make my background, but you could make a very, very similar card without the embossing folder. Or without the embossing machine. So I hope that answers that question. Okay, so now this has got some brown on it. I'm going to clean it off on my chamois and start again. Again, stamping in the Daffodil Delight, then bringing in the dauber and the Pecan Pie ink. You could do espresso ink here as well. I think that would be pretty. It would be a little bit darker. And what I'm going to do is really, I want to make sure that I don't have, I want a lot of pattern on here, but you can only use a half of a sunflower. So I'm going to kind of stamp all over the place and then fill in. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me bring in my yellow again. Pick up some more of my Pecan Pie, daub the center. Let me see. Again, just try and be mindful of the fact that if you stamp too far in, you're going to see that the sunflower ends and the words begin. And I don't really want to do that. Okay. Also, remember that you need to clean your stamp in between. Otherwise, you're going to end up with some of this Pecan Pie on your daffodil ink pad. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Oh, this is so pretty. Now, you could do this in a lot of different colors. I was really kind of concentrating on more realistic colors, but I do have a sample to show you at the end. Something done with a little bit, just overall brighter colors. I'll show you at the end. But I just want to fill in these gaps. Now, this point, I just need this and this to fill in. So I don't really need to add any brown because I'm just going to put in some... Ah! Did you see what I did? Why did I stamp that in brown? Ay, 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 ay. Not only did I stamp it in brown, I stamped it on... It wasn't even an ink pad. Okay. Well, let me put that in there. I'm just going to do this for now. I'll finish off the card so you can see it. And then I will... I'll go back and redo it because I've got another side, but I'm not going to put you through all that right now. Okay, so I'm done with my dauber. Now, to bring in I'm using just this stamp set. I'm not using any other stamp sets. And I will show you with the sample a different stamp set that I used. But if you wanted to use just this stamp set, you've got the word love, and then you've got the thank you for supporting me through my battle. I only want the word you. So let me show you how I'm going to get this with just this stamp set. I'm going to use sticky notes. There's a variety of different ways to do this, but I am lazy, and this is absolutely the easiest lazy way out of this. Just use your Post-it notes, and, oh, Betty, seriously, let me show you that again. Hi! Okay, so here's the stamp. Thank you for supporting me through my battle. I'm going to put this Post-it note over the bottom, covering the bottom words, and this covering the thank. So now the only thing that is showing is the word you. And I'm going to ink that up in my brown. I'm bringing in my brown ink pad. I'm going to ink this up. And then take this away. This is the important part. At this point, you want to get rid of your Post-it note. And I'm going to stamp the word you where I think it goes. There we go. So now I just have the word you. Hello, Joanna. Welcome for joining. Hoi. It's Monday morning. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Okay, so now I'm going to take the word love and stamp that a little skelly wonky here. Okay, so now we have the love you. All right, at this point, we're going to keep the brown out. Let me see if I can unzoom you a bit. Okay, I previously ran a piece of pecan pie through our sunflower embossing folder. This is what I was talking about with Renee. This, if you want to use the embossing folder, you do need a stamp, cut, and emboss machine, what I lovingly refer to as a big boss. But if you can get a very similar look if you don't own this machine. You could just do this as a basic layer behind and not have it embossed. But I did emboss it. It is by far my favorite embossing folder we've ever had. It is stunning on its own. Either side of it is stunning. So much you can do with this. And yet so little you have to do with it, to be honest. It's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to take a sponge, and I'm just going to sponge over. This I will try and zoom in a little bit because I think it's going to show you the detail on it. So I'm just starting with the embossing folder, and now I'm just going to take a sponge. You may be asking, could you use the dauber? You probably could. It would just take a little bit more time, so I'm just using a sponge, but whatever you want to use is fine. And I'm mostly concentrating on the outside because the inside is going to be covered up. But I think you can see there's a little bit more detail here than here. So that's the rationale behind that. Okay, so let me get all of that out of the way. Oops, nope, one more thing I wanted to show you with my ink pad. So I wanted to highlight the edges of this without adding another big layer underneath. So what I'm doing is that I just take my ink pad. I'm going to do it on the side so you can see what I'm doing. But I just tap the edges of it along the ink pad. The ink pad is foam. Stampin' Up! Ink pads are foam. So they actually, you can squish things into them, which is going to, I'll show you in a second when I'm all done with this. I'm going to show you how that kind of adds like a faux, whoops. I really have to redo this. I added just a little bit too much of a faux layer right there, but whatever, it's handmade. It is what it is. Okay, so you can see now that it sort of has a layer around it without adding a layer of paper, which always makes me happy. Okay, then I'm going to pull in, I have one slightly larger piece. I'm going to redo this, so I'm not going to glue everything down right now, but I would glue this right down. Actually, I am going to glue it down. I'm going to call it, you know what? It's handmade. It is what it is. It comes with love and a little smudge. I'm okay with that. Okay. Let me pop this down. So this is just on an slightly larger piece, which gives an 1/8 of an inch border. I hate 1/8 of inches, but if they are necessary, they are necessary. My hands are a little bit messy, so I'm trying not to get on this here. Okay. Welcome, Tina. So this is going to go on here. I'm going to pop this up with dimensionals. Dimensionals work really well if you have a background that is heavily embossed like this. This is it's a 3D embossing folder, which means that it is really deep. It's a very deep embossed image. And because of that, sometimes, depending on what you're using for adhesive, sometimes it's not great. I love green glue, and it gets in the nooks and crannies and works really well. But if you're not a green glue fan, sometimes the regular adhesive is a little bit difficult to get to stick because of the heavily embossed image. Okay, so there we go. Missy's saying she agrees with me about 1/8 of inches, but you got to do what you got to do. You are right, Missy. And for this card, it was 100% worth it. Okay, so let me zoom out a bit if I can. If I can't, we'll do the old-fashioned zoom. There we go. Okay, and so now I'm just going to attach this to the inside of the card. I'm going to show you another alternative to the glue dots, which I certainly could use, but this is tear tape. Now, some people like to cut their tape. I think it was given the name tear tape for a good reason, and I never cut mine because you can tear it. In the olden days, we had this adhesive that I thought would never replace, I forget what it was called, sticky strip. And you definitely had to cut that. Oh my goodness, I cut my paper the wrong size. Well, this really is a homemade card, 100% sure. So now I've got a border at the top and the bottom and not the sides. Whatever, it's fine, it's fine. All right, and to finish this card off, I'm gonna add a little stamp on the inside. Let me bring back my stamp. Where'd I put my stamp? Okay, I had just cleaned it off. Okay, so again, I'm going to ink it up in the Daffodil Delight. I'm going to bring back my inked up block with the pecan pie. Dab that on there and just dab it on the center there to give a varying color. And then I'm going to make sure that it's not going to show the half a sunflower, but it did show a little half a sunflower there. Can you see that? Let me show you how I'm going to fix that. I just went to my dauber and filled that right in. Nobody's the wiser. Alrighty. Okay, now, to finish this card off, I am going to bring in some bling. So the bling that I am using is called Streaked Dots. And there's the code for it, 165902. I believe I'm pretty sure this is in this catalog. I did not check, and That was my bad. But I'm pretty, if it's not there, it's in the online exclusives. You can definitely find it on my website, bettyboop.stampinup.net. But I'm pretty sure it's in the catalog there. Oh, there we go. Okay. I am going to bring in, I'm going to move this out of the way to clean this off. So I just put this in my ink pad. So now it's full of pecan ink. To clean it off, I'm literally going to take it to the sink and just wash it away. Easy, easy to clean that. Okay, so let me bring in my first sample that I showed you at the beginning. In this particular one, I used some different bling. And I don't know what I call this bling, but let me show you what it looks like. This is, I believe, in the annual catalog, and I'll put it in the description. I definitely, it's my bad that I didn't have this ready, but that's a different bling, bringing in the yellow, and this bling's in the brown. So let me know which one you like better, the yellow or the brown. I think I have an opinion, but you let me know what you think. Okay. So this was today's sample, but let me show you when I was playing previously with it, kind of what inspired this was that I used this here. Now this is from a different stamp set, but I wanted to use just the stamps that came in the Love and Courage stamp set to make this this card here today. So this uses Betty, you should have looked that up. I can't remember what this is, but it's in the annual catalog, and it's a great stamp set. So for this one, I did not use, I didn't vary the color of the center of it, so it comes together quite quickly, and I just used some different colors. If you were looking to make this a breast cancer stamp card, you could do the whole thing just all in pink. So I was using it just to show you a different way that you can use it, but you definitely could do the whole thing in different shades of pink, and that would be beautiful as well. So throughout the month, I will be showing you different ways to use the stamp set. I'm going to bring it in one more time. It's called the Love and Courage. It's $25, and $3 from the proceeds of this go to breast cancer organizations. And yeah, I think it's important, so I'm featuring it all month. If you place an order with me this month of $60 or more, I'm going to send you a kit for each of the cards I make. I'm going to make a different card each Monday, and I'll send you the kits for the cards. I cannot send the stamps. I can't stamp the image, but I will send you what I call the guts for making the cards. I will send those to you at the end of the month if you place a $60 order. If you order with me just the Love and Courage, you absolutely will be getting that as well. So if you don't order the Love and Courage, if you order $60 worth, I'll send you all the parts to make the cards. But if you order Love and Courage, 100% you are definitely getting all the parts to make the cards. So tune in every Monday, 10 o'clock. I will have cards moving forward using the same stamp set, using them in different ways, so you can see how else you can use this stamp set in addition to kind of the traditional ways you may think of using this stamp set. All right, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Leave me any questions. Oh, wait, forgot to tell you, today is the beginning of the kit sale. I have behind me, well, you can't see, whoa, all the kits. Well, not all the kits, but many kits on display. There's a ton of kits that are available, and they are up to 30% off. I gave some bad information earlier this week, and I said they were definitely 30% off. No, that was a lie. They are up to 30% off. But that's still a great deal. So if you go to my website, bettyboop.stampinup.net, you will be able to just search for kits, and you'll see all of the kits that come up. And you can search by price, high to low. You can, there's lots of different ways that you can search by most recent, by kits low to high, whatever. But anyway, the kits are on sale today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. And as they sell out, they will sell out. So if there's something you really want, absolutely get in there and get those kits. And I would like to highlight for you that the Halloween Haunted House is available now and on sale. So I would absolutely grab that. Oh, good. Tina said she already placed her orders today. So definitely give that a look. All right, I will see you next Monday. Oh, one more thing I forgot to tell you about. If you have more than $35 you want to get, this should be a separate public announcement, but if you have more than $35 you want to get, Stampin' Up! Currently has this unbelievable deal going on, where for $35 you get $125 worth of product. It is a crazy good deal. You sign up with Stampin' Up! You choose up to $125 worth of stuff. You just pay the $35 and tax on that, and it comes to you. For at least 6 months, you will continue to receive a discount on your orders. As demonstrators, we get discounts. So for a minimum of 6 months, you're going to get that. If you choose to do something with it afterwards, I'm happy to work with you. And if you say, I'm out, you can be out. There's no downside to this. And in this world today, I know everybody is suspicious and I get that, but I totally believe in karma. I would not lie to you, and it's an unbelievable deal. So if you want over $35 worth of stuff, it does not make sense not to do this. So you go to my website, go join now, and it'll show you the join deal. And yeah, and I'm happy to talk to you about it. So if you have any questions at all, just leave me a comment, and I promise you, no pressure, and I'll answer any questions you have. Okay, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you next Monday with another sample of what you can do with this amazing Love and Courage stamp set. Thanks, guys. Have a good week. Bye.